This chapter is about the Payment Approval Management module, where you can add payment approval to your payment journal, but also bank account verification. So the added bonus is that you'll know that every payment is approved by the right personnel and also that the recipient bank account is verified. To get started, let's first go to the Payment Management setup. From here, access the Assisted setup, and from here, select the Setup Payment Approval. Select Next. And from here you have the two options of using the bank account verification and using approval workflow. In this setup, both are enabled. The Verify Bank Accounts link gives you a list of bank accounts that need verification. And when accessing the link, you will get prompted with the option to automatically verify accounts if they've already been used previously. This is the list of unverified bank accounts, which in this example contains both customers and vendors. Now that that's done, we get to set up the payment approval flow. I select the journal and then Next. First, we have to choose between the 5 options on how we want to select the approvers for this payment journal. All will just run through the list of approvers. First Qualified will select the first one that is able to approve the payment based on the approval amount limit. All to First Qualified will run through the list until it is approved by the approver with the sufficient approval amount limit. Initial and First Qualified will go to the first approver on the list and then jump to the approver with the sufficient approval amount limit. The last option is All Up to Limit, and this means that a certain number of approvers need to approve. So if we select, for example, 2 approvers, then any 2 from the list below can approve no matter the amount. Our list of approvers is not that long, so I'm going to go with the method of First Qualified and set the approver RB's approval amount limit to 1 million. An email address has been set up, so the approver would be able to receive an email notification with the approval requests, but we've also decided to never send an email notification. We could, however, change that to either instantly, when the request is sent, or daily using a job queue. On this page, we have to choose if we want to approve journal lines or journal batches. There's an option to set a field restriction on other sensitive fields like bank account and amount, and then you would still be able to change, for example, a dimension. It could also be set to all fields and then nothing would be changed after it was sent for approval. There's also an option to set a lower limit for approval. Maximum amount allowed without approval is set to 50 in this example, and that will cause everything below this amount to be ready to send to the bank without you having to approve it. That's it. Now we've set up both an approval workflow for all payments and also bank account verification to avoid fraud. Let's go to the Cash Management top menu and access the payment journals. Here I'll select a Payment Management enabled payment journal. I'll quickly suggest vendor payments. As you can see, I now have 6 valid payment lines. If you look in the Payment Management fact box in the right side of the screen, you can see what the status is for each line. They are all ready for approval, except the last line. This line could also just be exported to the bank because the amount is below 50 in whichever LCY we're using. It's also very important to notice that this is a new bank account that has not yet been verified. So if you look in the fact box recipient bank details, you can see that this is pending verification. If you open the vendor bank account card and select Verify Bank Account, you'll be able to see the new details. You can select the verification method, for example email, and then add a comment. If you open it again and add a new detail like transit number, the bank account is once again pending verification. Press Verify Bank Account again, and you can see the added detail. Put in by phone this time, add a comment. The bank account is once again verified, and now you can take a look at the verification history and see all the details of what has been verified and by whom. Now all the lines are ready for approval. and you can select the ones you want to send. Select Request Approval in the top menu and Send Approval Request, and select Journal Lines. Now all the lines are pending approval. You can approve from within the journal right away. Select 3 and select Approve. Or you can go to the Role Center, find the Request to Approve tile, and access the approvals from here. And remember, you might also set up that you can receive an email guiding you into the approval requests. From here you can see the bank account information, and you also have access to the applied entries. You can now select the ones you want to approve. You could of course also reject, delegate, or add a comment if you wanted to. Let's now go back into the payment journal. From here you can see that all the payment lines have now been approved and you're ready to export them to the bank. For all the other daily work you can do in the payment journal, you can take a look at the chapter about the payment journal.